everyone. You are back in the ladies' room with Keena and Kimberly. And we were talking before the break of music about Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, and about the fighting. I know you disrespect me. I know you disrespect me.
Is that what they say, Keena?
And then they're like, I know you disrespect me. And then I'm just trying to say, why you gonna talk about me? And then that other bitch, and then that bitch. Ooh, sorry.
Money for the children.
Thank you. I peeked because that was money. Oh yes, I'm sorry. It was $10.
Yeah, she said too.
That's from on behalf of Jocelyn and those other girls. That's the only girl's name I remember.
Okay.
Because
anyway.
they all really don't like her. But what was a trip was also where they got into some kind of fight. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch all of it. But where the one guy, Stevie J, says, well, I've got 5 baby mamas.
And he said it. He proclaimed that.
He would say, you're right. I shouldn't have talked about your baby mama because I've got 5. 5.
5. Okay, does he have 5 babies or 5? He's got 5 women with which he has children.
That is correct. And he actually has a woman who is really torn about whether she should stay with him or not.
That's a no-brainer.
Right?
Does she have any of his children?
Yes, of course.
I mean, she could have been, number 6 in the making. I don't know. But she's torn as to whether or not she should stay with this man who has children by 5 different women.
Well, yeah, 4. I guess 4 others than her.
4 different women.
Yes. And then the Jocelyn girl or whatever, he got her pregnant, but paid for her to get an abortion.
So he would have 6. Does she already have one by him? No. So he would have 6.
He would have had
baby
6.
mamas. Is it baby mamas? Yeah, baby mamas.
Well,
okay. But maybe she thinks that since she's the latest one, she could lock him down. I mean, maybe she feels like I can't even.
Yeah, that was a good try. Good try.
She should have been considering whether or not she should be with him before she had that baby.
Way before.
So she's caught up in it now, I guess.
So it is truly the train wreck show of the season.
I can't watch it
because there are normal thinking people who watch this show. And they just can't turn away and I understand why. Because you're looking at it and you're just, the whole time you're like, your mouth is open and you're shaking your head and you're like, really, is this real? And
it's sad because, okay, so I don't watch those type of reality shows, but I do like reality shows. Like one of my favorites, we used to watch The Family Cruise.
Oh, yeah!
Terry Crews and his wife had, and it talked about, family issues, how they prayed together, all that. And I don't even know if it's coming on again. I'm looking it up now, but I would love to see a season 3. But everything I see says keep checking back for season 3.
Oh.
I like The Family Cruise.
Yeah.
I do like T.I. and Tiny.
Okay.
I watch their show.
Yeah, that's Ghetto Love is its finest.
Right,
because they really love each other.
They really love each other, and there's some lessons to be learned. And I like how T.I. tries to show his kids not to go his path.
The path that he did.
Yeah. So, but those shows, they don't make it. Well, T.I. and Tiny probably will, but like The Family Cruise, I mean, it was just like it was love and raising your kids, and I watched some of the stuff and it was like, oh, I could take something away from that, not just entertainment. It was fun, it was funny, but it was a good show. And a show like that, we don't even know if it's going to be a season 3. Yeah,
but I'm sure there will be another Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
If people like you would stop watching it, maybe it would go off. Not people like you. Not people like you, but if people would stop watching it, I wish it would go off the air.
15 minutes, and that was too much.
Yeah.
And I ended up turning back to like
whatever.
I really it was 15 minutes. I'm serious. Because there's only so much fighting, and you disrespect me. I don't know why you disrespect me. There's only so much disrespect that someone can take in a given time.
Gotcha.
I mean, how much disrespect can there be? But let me tell you about disrespect.
Okay.
Well, it seems that the paternal Paterno statue at Penn State has come down, from what I understand. The latest report of CNN is that they've taken the statue down. They had already, there's a price to pay. And it sounds like there's going to be some severe penalties set for Penn State, where they're saying that it will face significant, unprecedented penalties from the National Collegiate Athletic Association. But they're saying these are all speculation right now. What they're reporting on CNN is that it will not face the so-called death penalty that would have prevented the football team from playing in the fall. So, it's still, some people are saying that there is a source that says the school might have preferred a 1-year suspension because of the severity of the scholarship losses, postseason sanctions, and other penalties. The source wouldn't specify what actually was going to happen, but they were saying if I were Penn State or any other school and were given both options, I'd pick the death penalty.
Okay.
But
so what I want to know is what's going to happen to all the other folks that were involved in this cover-up. I mean, Sandusky's been prosecuted, but all these other people that participated in this cover-up so that the football program could continue to go on, which was, a big money maker for Penn State, and so they continue to cover this up. I want to see some folks go to jail,
and that's a big part of it. They, it really came out in the Free Report, which really kind of detailed where the president of the school and the athletic director, all of these people were involved.
So it's like Joe Paterno, he's dead now, bless his heart, rest in peace, but I guess he can't rest in peace because of all this going on. So they're going to take down his statue, but that's not enough. Everyone else that knew what was going on and did nothing, they need to see some jail time. They need to be prosecuted.
They do.
Because these victims, their lives have been changed forever because of this.
They have.
And they sacrificed the lives of young boys to keep this football program intact.
Right.
And if that is not pure evil, greed, and just immorality, I don't know what is.
And we need to promote a society that says we're going to put the protection of children above anything else.
Right. The children who cannot protect themselves.
Exactly.
As adults, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to protect the children.
That is our responsibility.
That's our responsibility. But, it just sickens me. And I didn't even read the report.
I heard that it's really disturbing.
I can't read it. I can't read it. Just like I couldn't look at the photos and the details as it related to the shootings in Aurora, Colorado. I can't, because I feel like if I continue to look at certain things and read certain things, I don't want to be desensitized.
Right.
When I heard about the Sandusky case, I got a little sick to my stomach and I got emotional. Right. And I refuse to put so much into my spirit that I get desensitized to this stuff. But these mofos need to go to jail.
They do.
It's my first mofo of the day.
It is your first mofo.
Doggone it, I'm slipping. But they need to go to jail, for real.
Yes, and what is also important for parents to realize is speaking with your children about and giving them an environment where they can feel comfortable to come to you and let you know what's happening
going on.
And let them know that your body temple. You touch your body,
right?
And other people should not be allowed to touch your body, no matter what.
Right.
They have no reason to, and if they need to, go and tell your parent.
And what's sad is there are stories of child molestation where they try to tell their parents.
Right.
And their parents didn't either didn't believe them or tried to keep it hush hush. They say that's something that goes on in every family. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And children should feel safe. So that type of stuff just makes me sick to my stomach.
Right. And it's really unfortunate because you should have the conversation, because I had this with one of our friends that let's have an age appropriate conversation with her son who is 6 now. Let's have an age-appropriate conversation about your body.
Right.
Because you think that you're putting them around people that and
that are trustworthy.
Right. But you don't always know.
Right.
And so let's build the environment so that he has the information and the armor to know that I can come back. I already know there's an avenue that I can come and communicate what's going to happen, and we'll deal with it.
Right, especially when he's getting involved in sports.
Right.
You know, he's around a bunch of coaches, and as much as possible, I believe in parents letting coaches coach their kids. You know, not running out on the field or whatever. Let them build these young athletes into men. But again, you have to have that conversation with the children on the front end.
Exactly.
So that, you know, do what your coach says, respect your coach, but if your coach steps out of line, you need to come tell me so I can deal with it. Immediately. And anytime you get to a point where your child is being left alone with others,
right,
you know, that you don't know, and even some people that you think you do know,
right, anybody.
Whenever the child is old enough to be able to comprehend and communicate, you need to have that conversation to where they know that they shouldn't be touched in an inappropriate way.
Right.
That's important, and you know what, this is making me sick.
Okay, well, you know, it's really sad.
It's sad, and it needs to be discussed, but I hate that it needs to be discussed.
Exactly.
It's sad that it needs to be discussed.
And so hopefully there's some people out there who are listening who will go home and have a conversation with your children and let them know that there is an environment where they can go and have a conversation about things that are not comfortable, that are not nice, but that you'll go out there and you'll protect them.
Right.
Because when you're a child who feels protected, and you're a child who feels secure, then you can go in the world and not have fear to try different things and do different things.
And what's sad is what some of these sick people do is to try to get the child not to tell. They'll threaten the child. If you tell, I'll kill your parents, or something. You know, the people that the child loves. So that needs to be part of the conversation.
Absolutely,
it's you know, don't believe when somebody says, you know, your mommy, your daddy is strong, and we can handle ourselves. Let us handle that.
Right.
But you need to come back and tell us.
Right. Or they'll be really mad, or they won't love you, or you know, to take all of the predators' tactics and use them against them on the front end, arm them on the front end.
Yes.
And you know, another not so happy subject is I was watching Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel.
Okay.
And which I love that show. Oh, that's a summer show I watched. Okay. So Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, though it's on all year.
I was gonna say.
There's a new one.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I had my alma mater, Florida A&M University, on there with the Champion case and talking about hazing and within the band. And you know, right now, FAMU has decided to suspend the band program for the entire year. And also the president has resigned immediately, effective immediately. And there's going to be a lot more cases, lawsuits. I'm sure there's going to be tons more because of that. But what is amazing to me, what I've never been able to understand, even all the way when I was in college to today, is I've never understood why you would let somebody hit you. I just don't understand it.
Well, hazing is a tradition, not a good tradition, but it's been around for a while. And as someone who pledged a sorority and was subjected to a little bit of hazing, I'm not going to go into the details, but it's almost like, first of all, when you're young, although Robert Champion was older, but when you're young and impressionable and you go off to college and it's like, okay, I want to pledge a sorority, and in some ways you just think that, okay, this is part of what I'm going to do. This is part of what I'm going to endure to get to the end result. You don't think of it as, you don't think of it as being that bad. I mean, you just think of it as just a temporary thing. I'm going to endure it until I get to. Now, I was never hit. Let me clarify, I was never hit, because I'm a fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I was never hit, but there were certain things that I did allow myself to be subjected to that I wouldn't normally do.
Well, okay. Well,
let's talk about this when we come back. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we come back.
We'll be back in a moment. Back in the ladies' room.
This time it was my man. And these women are putting their hands all over his Yamamoto Kansai sweater, the iPod. And I'm much, much unhappy about that. I'd hate to come down to the level of